Welcome to Final Whistle Football News, the home of daily football and transfer updates. Subscribe now and join the community of true football lovers. Never miss a moment from the beautiful game. My first news is Arsenal will wear a different kit combination during their impending Champions League showdown with Athletic Club due to UEFA rules. Arsenal have been thrown a curveball ahead of their clash against Athletic Club. The Gunners will have a new look when they face Ernesto Valverde's squad at the San Mamés Stadium on Tuesday evening for the opening round of the Champions League campaign. Due to UEFA rules, Arsenal will wear their blue away shirt with a new pair of silver shorts and socks. When the North London outfit previously donned the strip during pre-season, they wore dark blue shorts and socks. To avoid a kit clash with Athletic Club, whose home kit comprises a red and white striped shirt with black shorts, Arsenal have been forced to wear a different pair of shorts and socks. Article 9 of UEFA's equipment regulations outlines that teams must be prepared to mix and match items in order to create a visible contrast with the other team. There is also an order of priority for the selection of colors for a match: home team outfield player attire, away team outfield player attire, home team goalkeeper attire, away team goalkeeper attire, then referee team attire. UEFA adds, if there is a clash for one of the above participants that can't be resolved, none of the approved attires offer the required level of color contrast, then other participants may have to change, in reverse order, until a suitable contrast can be found. If Donatas Rumses, who will be officiating the match, believes that Athletic Club and Arsenal are wearing strips that could lead to confusion, the Spanish outfit, as the home team, must change their attire purely for practical reasons. While the kitman reacts to the late change, Arteta has been busy preparing to go the distance in the Champions League. Speaking to reporters at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday afternoon, the Gunners manager claimed that he made a conscious effort to bolster the squad depth. Arsenal invested nearly £300 million on new players in the summer transfer window without offloading too many big names. Arteta said, the demands of the amount of games that the players have to play, they have to play 70 or 74 games throughout the season, it's never been done. When the intensity goes that high, they are not going to be able to sustain that. So you need more players, the standards have raised, we need better players, and there's no secret. On returning to the north of Spain where Arteta grew up, he said, it doesn't matter what we talk about, what we want to do, it's what we have to do. It's not what we want that we have to now work today again. Review. There are a lot of things that we have to get better at to be able to score even more and be more dominant in certain phases of the game and go game by game. My second news is 3 things Manchester United must change to get the best out of Ruben Amorim's system. Under fire, Red Devils boss adamant he won't change his philosophy in wake of derby drubbing, but there are some key alterations to make within it. Ruben Amorim was staunch in defense of his philosophy in the wake of Manchester United's defeat by rivals Manchester City in Sunday's derby. The United boss said the club would have to sack him before he changed his system, reiterating his commitment to his vision at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim was staunch in defense of his philosophy in the wake of Manchester United's defeat by rivals Manchester City in Sunday's derby. After just 8 Premier League wins since his appointment last November, Amorim's statements were bold. But they also weren't without merit, because while they were well beaten by City, there were moments in the game from which United can take encouragement. They enjoyed prolonged spells of possession at the Etihad Stadium in which they were able to build from back to front, and it's clear that Amorim has had a summer with his squad on the training ground. More change is not what United need. They have bought into Amorim's ideas, investing in his squad to the tune of more than £200 million. United's faith can't, however, be blind. And Amorim needs to show a bit of flexibility with his team selection. Standard Sport looks at 3 ways Amorim can adapt to get the best out of his system. Fresh start for Mainoo. There are a myriad of problems facing United, some without a determinable solution, yet one decision is staring them in the face. Amorim's refusal to start Kobbie Mainoo gets more perplexing by the week, with the young midfielder having come off the bench in United's last 2 league games. Mainoo is a prodigious talent, a perfect blend of physicality, skill, and composure. However, Amorim remains reluctant to utilize him. He opted to use Manuel Ugarte alongside Bruno Fernandes on Sunday and was duly punished, with City carving through United's midfield with ease. When he eventually introduced Mainoo, just past the hour mark, there was a noticeable upturn in energy and direction. but by then the result was already set in stone. Mainoo, a bright spot on an otherwise dismal afternoon, added dynamism to United's performance, complementing the best parts of Amorim's system. It's not a case of whether the England international is good enough, with Amorim suggesting that Mainoo is not used to having to compete for minutes. Amorim, though, has to use him to try and restore some balance to United's midfield. Move Fernandes further forward. Bruno Fernandes has been the figure of consistency amid the chaos for United over the years, a player with the ability to pull his team out of any situation. United's captain is exactly the sort of personality Amorim needs to build around, playing to his strengths rather than molding him to fit the system. Deployed in a deeper role as part of a midfield pivot, Fernandes looked stifled against City, unable to affect the game in the final third. Fernandes' role within Amorim's system is not just to the detriment of the Portuguese midfielder, but to the rest of the team, with the 31-year-old lacking the defensive instincts to play as part of a midfield two. Fernandes is selfless, committing the prime years of his career to trying to resurrect United's fortunes, but his role within the side should not be sacrificed for the good of the system. The system has to work for Fernandes, rather than the other way round. Amorim needs to push Fernandes further forward to get the best out of him, and while that perhaps means an awkward conversation with summer signings Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, it's essential to United making a success of what is quickly turning into another disastrous season. Make a change in goal. Amorim would have been bold to hand a debut to deadline day arrival Sen Lamens in the Manchester derby. However, going forward, the Belgian shot-stopper has to be given the chance to prove he is capable of being United's first-choice goalkeeper. Current no one Altay Bayındır once again flattered to deceive against City, with a shaky performance that did little to inspire any confidence. Bayındır has faced mounting criticism this season for not being strong enough from corners, and while typically assured with his feet, he struggled under pressure against City and nearly gifted the hosts possession inside his own area on a number of occasions. United, who will have looked longingly at the performance of Gianluigi Donnarumma on his City debut, need a goalkeeper who can command authority and take charge of situations. Bayındır, however, only added to the chaos that unfolded at the Etihad, with United shipping 2 goals in a calamitous 15-minute spell in the second half. Lamens is young and inexperienced. He doesn't necessarily represent the answer, but he does represent change in a position where United sorely need fresh impetus. My last news is Liverpool poised for fresh Marc Guehi transfer battle as Man City enters race. Marc Guehi's proposed move to Liverpool on deadline day fell through and the centre-back will become a free agent next summer, with a host of clubs ready to make a move. Manchester City is reportedly preparing to challenge Liverpool in the race to sign Marc Guehi on a free transfer next summer. This could potentially spark a massive transfer battle between two of the Premier League's top clubs for the England defender. Guehi, 25, was close to a $48 million, £35 million, move to Liverpool on deadline day, but the deal fell through at the last minute when Crystal Palace decided against it. This has opened up opportunities for other clubs as Guehi will be out of contract next summer. This situation has caught the attention of several big European clubs including Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan and Juventus. However, there is also a strong possibility that he might stay in the Premier League as Liverpool is expected to renew its interest next summer and believes it has an upper hand in securing Guehi's signature. However, the Reds now face serious competition from Manchester City, who is known to admire the talented centre-back. Reports the Mirror.it was evident during the last transfer window that Guehi had made up his mind to either join Liverpool or see out his contract and move on a free transfer next summer. As a result, City did not compete with Liverpool's interest during the last window, but this is likely to change next summer. There is no chance of Guehi moving in January as he has reaffirmed his commitment to Palace for this season and the fans have shown him immense support due to his professional conduct throughout the transfer saga. However, Guehi's potential for a more lucrative contract is heightened as clubs scramble for his signature, given the rarity of a player of his caliber and age moving on a free transfer. Yet, there is significant interest from overseas. Real Madrid, known for splashing out on forwards and securing defenders on budget or free deals like they did with Trent Alexander-Arnold, are reportedly keen. Barcelona are also said to be interested, and Guehi's Ivorian passport, which qualifies him as an EU player in Spain, makes him an even more appealing prospect for the La Liga titans. Bayern Munich, having made a hugely successful signing in Harry Kane, are also believed to be interested and would see Guehi as a brilliant deal on a free. Foreign clubs can initiate talks with Guehi from January 1 and secure a pre-contract agreement, potentially giving them an edge over Premier League teams. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Final Whistle Football News, and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop with the latest transfer news and rumors. One more thing, what are your thoughts on these updates? Comment below.